reuniters, were they questioning because they saw the picture of him and Grandpa in there?
Oh, yeah.
Were they questioning Grandpa's loyalty at that time? Yeah. Okay.
That's why they were like, man, he's here, he's going to kill us.
Yeah.
Now, that scene did not exist in the release.
Right.
That entire reuniting with Grandpa was not.
Yeah.
In that hallway, that entire scene.
Ah.
The first time the kids see that Grandpa's there, and I'm pretty sure I'm right about this, is when he comes out and says, light up the eyes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So the
when
kids,
they're fighting Professor.
Yeah.
Man, Professor Tanaka,
oh
too.
my gosh.
In everything.
Yeah. I mean, the list goes on. He's had probably the most prolific career.
Yeah.
So that scene wasn't in it. And let's just talk about the differences now, and we'll go through the movie, of course, but how about the fact that in the American released theatrical release, they win the basketball game.
They do?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
They win the basketball game.
What's the what's the winning shot like? How does that sequence go? Or is it them? Well, I guess they got to score one more point.
You know how it kind of ends with him doing the undercut and him flipping, and then eventually they get it in. They're like, "Yeah, we scored." That happens, but Colt, that's like their 9th point.
Oh, okay.
So it becomes 9-9.
Right.
The free throw line dunk is the end.
Ah.
And they cheer. Everyone's happy. And that scene at the end, when they beat up the bullies, never happens. They win. Baby Doughboy is mad with his Pitbull shirt on. And the kids, the ninjas win. They use their ninja basketball skills.
I kind of like it that they lost.
I do too. I think it's a better version.
Yeah,
I do.
Gives them a little bit of turmoil, something to think about, while things are going on. Yeah.
So they, So they're studying the great art of ninja at their grandfather's cabin for the summer, because apparently they go there for about 6 weeks. Is what we're
seems
thinking.
like I think that's what it was. Yeah,
and they've been doing this for years now, so they're pretty elite ninjas.
Yeah.
As we see from their badass training montage. What did you think of Grandpa's cabin?
Loved it. Loved the cabin.
Come on,
God. Man, if I could Airbnb that, I'd be there in a second.
That's so funny you
man.
said that, because the once again I'm referencing the podcast. I literally just listened to it, but the host jokes about, man, because that house, that cabin still stands.
Oh, really?
This cabin that's in this canyon in California, and he was like, man, should be Airbnb.
Yeah.
Like the Three Ninjas cabin. And Max was saying that Max Slade Colt was saying that it used to be used in other movies as well.
Seems like it would be. Yeah,
it's perfect. And all of that training was shot around the cabin. Like, that's all just around the cabin.
You know what I thought it was, and I'm sure it's not, but it looked a lot like Ron's cabin from the outside too.
Oh, sure.
With Parks and Rec. Yeah, and that's what
It's California.
Yeah.
No wonder. Yeah. Look it up, people. And we get a wonderful training montage. I mean, we get it all. We get to see their personalities. We get to hear their personalities in the voiceover.
Yeah, it does such a good job of you know who's the cool one, who's the shy one, who's the oddball Tum Tum kind of guy, the younger one, and you get Grandpa's perspective, the ninja perspective, what he's teaching the kids. And then I also like how they do the whole "let's kill Grandpa for fun" kind of thing and just throw ninja stars at him. And,
because they are going after Grandpa.
They are not holding back, it seems.
You've seen this scene, so you know what we're talking about. I mean, there are times when Grandpa's on the ground and they're flinging metal ninja stars that stick in the ground.
Luckily, he rolls over.
I guess he's like, listen, when we train like this, I need you to come at me, ready.
There had to be a time when they were young, he's just like, you guys go hard or not at all every time.
I mean, it's worse when they don't go hard at Grandpa.
Right.
Because they know what he'll do to them.
Yeah.
It must be, right?
I got it, yeah.
I mean, they try to hit him with spears, and
they fuck up his car. They just stand on the hood and jump around on the hood of his car.
They really go after Grandpa, and Grandpa has a wonderful stunt double. God bless him.
Yeah.
And they do very obvious cuts. Of course, Victor Wong's probably... He died. He passes away in 2001. And this movie's in his 70s, so he's not going to be doing these flips. But, I mean, for what they had to do, they did a pretty nice job.
Sure.
We get all of that. And now I want to talk about the legendary arms deal.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything strange about this to you?
Well, immediately watching this, and before, so when it kind of gives Grandpa like, "Oh, I'm worried about your dad," kind of thing,
Yes.
and then it goes right to it. Seeing him driving, I'm like, "Oh, okay, his dad's got to be the driver." I'm like, "Is he a limo?" Because again, I have no knowledge of this movie, didn't read about it, and I was like, "Is this guy just a limo driver?" And that's it? Like, I guess I would be worried about my dad.
I'm sure it's dangerous.
Yeah. But then he gets out, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And continuing my story.
Yes.
What have we talked about every time? You got to put a Middle East, and if you can't find a Middle Eastern guy, you put a white guy in Middle Eastern.
Extremely Italian.
Yeah, extremely Italian. And forgive me for not knowing the name of the head rap and everything too, but it's just like, okay, this is immediately. It's like this is an undercover sting.
Yes, because this guy looks like a New York cop in the '90s. He's putting on an affectation. There may be bronzer. I can't tell if he's gone tan face.
Right. Yeah. It could be a little. It could be a little. Little foundation for him right there.
However they want to justify it. Now, anything else stick out to you in that scene?
Well, yeah. Let's continue. So we get a brief dialogue between Snyder and the undercover FBI agent, and then to open the crate that contain. I'm sure this is just a liftable crate. I'm sure these are unlocked.
Right,
if they are locked, I'm sure that they're unlocked by now. And Snyder could have easily looked at that, but no, to show his alpha status.
Yes. That widow's peak just blazing.
Snyder just elbows this crate of missiles and to open it and pulls out this warhead that I don't think we ever get. Did we ever get a clear thing? Or is it just? It's just missiles, right? He's just an arms dealer. There's nothing special
it's
about
not nuclear weapons,
right? I mean, yeah, we'd assume,
but it could be.
Could be.
I mean, he's funding Middle Eastern terrorism.
He is
what we're led to assume,
right?
And what always.
Am I missing something that you were looking at?
I was just wondering if it stuck out to you, because it never stuck out to me. This isn't what I noticed in the movie this time of watching. It's just something that, as an adult rewatching it, I always noticed, and I was like, huh. The intricacy with which Sam Douglas and Snyder must have been around each other. Because Snyder doesn't recognize him. And all he's wearing is glasses.
That's true.
He looks right fucking at him.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's just standing there.
Yeah.
And then, we cut to his office later, and he's like, "Oh, that was Sam Douglas."
Yeah.
Oh. It's like
that's true. Yeah.
His father-in-law. His daughter's married to this man.
Yeah.
You know about his kids. You know what are we talking about here?
Right.
Why didn't you just be like, "Oh, deal's off.
Deal's off.
Shit.
This guy's here."
and you could have also just put Sam in a mustache.
Do something. Yeah, you put the other guy in a Middle Eastern garb. Do something different.
He's in a suit, which he probably always wears,
right? And
sunglasses, which he probably always wears. The only difference is who's behind the wheel.
Yep.
So we're just led to believe this massive arms dealer who's funding terrorism, who's a legendary ninja in his own right. Although, if we're going by what he's trained his men to do,
sure,
they're completely
terrible,
and he is too. And he just looks at him and is like, "Okay, oh, there's the guy I'm looking for." I don't know. It was just always strange to me. It's like Snyder's like this mastermind villain. Yeah, okay,
looks good.
Yes, but the meditation into the break of the missile box is always a highlight for me in the movie.
Doesn't look like it costs much for a warhead either, too.
What are we thinking here? Because there were a few boxes, but let's say that really did contain all 20s and 100s.
Yeah.
It's 25,000.
That didn't look like much. Yeah. It did look like it didn't even look like a really businessman briefcase. It looked like It looked like an art school briefcase, kind of, I guess, or something like that.
It really does seem like he was about to do this massive. I mean, the FBI's there. Snyder's been. This has been planned for a long time. His ninjas are there, tactically positioned, and it's for like $50,000, maybe.
Yeah, 50. Yeah. For a broken box and some new, and some warheads,
and some mortars, some guns. I just, you know, and today it's a lot easier. Just like, has the money been transferred? Yes, great. So they have to do this. But when Snyder adjusts his pants to sit down and really go through it all, he's like, "Oh, it's all paper."
Yeah.
As a kid, I thought, man, you should take the top 2 bills.
Right, exactly. Right. At least have some fun money. You know, walking around money.
Yeah. Some pocket change and some gas money.
There you go. Yeah.
For the helicopter as you escape. I think this is a wonderful intro of a villain. How cool would it be to be able to say a line and have just a bunch of ninjas drop in from the ceiling?
Gotta fly. Well, yeah. He doesn't say he says gotta fly away upstairs,
but it's like. The FBI! Woo!
Yeah.
Nice of you to drop
in. Yeah.
And these ninjas prove themselves incapable immediately.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sam just knocks one of them out with the butt of his gun like an old-timey Western. Just like, I mean, here's this expert hand-to-hand combat. And maybe the FBI agent is too. But he just, like one move and this ninja's gone.
No shots are fired too during the whole thing.
Really? No.
Yeah. Once I see... As a law enforcement agent, if I see people coming down with swords, too,
I mean, at that point, the aggression has to be doubled, and you have to shoot them all just coming down like a video game.
Yeah,
you know, this has a lot of cutscenes in it too. When Snyder confronts the 2 FBI agents, that's cut. When they're like, "Hey, come here," and he's like, "Okay." They're really like they don't follow any protocol. It's like, "Hey, you, where are you going?" This is after Snyder realizes he's been had. He's kidnapped the agent that he knocked out, the guy in blackface, basically.
Yeah.
And then we get a wonderful scene. We get one of the coolest, at the time, exits of a villain I'd ever seen.
It was pretty cool. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Sam, the FBI agent, is chasing Snyder out. He shoots 9 shots out of a 6-barrel gun. It's 9 times, I counted. And... I don't know why he waits to shoot. I guess he's unarmed, technically, so he's not going to shoot him. Maybe once.
He's already shown, like, I guess he's taking the notion that you already had your men attack us and, quote-unquote, tried to kill us already, so I'm going to go ahead and shoot. Maybe he's just shooting to scare. Maybe he's just shooting to...
he says, I love to stay in shot, but I gotta fly. Oh, bing! He's very Italian at times. It's very funny. So he hops on this ladder, this helicopter comes up, he just swoops away, and old Sam's left holding his dick.
He is. Cliff is happy.
Cliff is thrilled. This
like,
happens so much where Sam's like, nah, Cliff.
Nah.
At the end, it happens where Cliff's like, all right, man, we did it. Let's go check.
Cliff just wants to go home, and he's just like, dude, we got it. Come on, let's go.
Well, we got everything. Yeah. We got the guns, we got the mortars, we got it all.
We get Snyder.
So, now, I could talk about all the scenes in this movie, but what's a scene you think we should maybe touch on?
I think next would be the Snyder arriving at the cabin.
Perfect.
With the ninjas. Yeah. Because... watching this immediately, while watching it, I was thinking how much 12-year-old me would love to pause this movie, go out in the backyard, and recreate everything that's going on.
You're in the woods.
Yeah.
You're being surrounded. I mean, there was a little cove behind my deck that had 3 really big trees, and I would always go in there and pretend I was surrounded by ninjas. And I would have to fight the trees off.
Yeah.
Never worked, but...
never a successful mission.
No, I always lost. No. But that scene is great. And this is where you realize Snyder's a bad dude.
He is. Yeah.
Because he's like, I'm gonna kill your son-in-law.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna rape your daughter. Right? That's what he means by no one left to defend the honor.
Yeah.
And you realize, as with any 90s movie, this line is not in the original release. You realize that a lot of this stems from karate studios. in the money that Mori Tanaka was able to make a small fortune off Karate Studios.
Right.
Once again, the